Washington Boxing Nation.
Tell that Baltimore sign a contract. I'm trying to fight that Baltimore nigga.
Light-skinned ass nigga. Light-skinned ass.
You know, it's funny how the sport of boxing works. At least 85% of the time, it's usually the fighter that's not calling out the top guy in that weight class that gets the fight with the top guy. And the fighter that's begging for the fight and he's calling for the fight aggressively is usually way at the back of the line. Now, to Gervonta's credit, Ryan Garcia, Frank Martin, and Lomachenko, they were calling out Gervonta. And by Lomachenko's own admission, not only did he just recently turn down the fight for a unification bout when he claimed his dream was to become undisputed at 135, but Loma also admitted that he was no longer interested in that fight from the moment that Gervonta moved up to 35, which was a long time ago. And even though the Lamont Roach fight is not a fight that the fans really wanted to see, once again, we have to remember Gervonta was supposed to be fighting against Lomachenko, and that would have been one of the biggest fights, if not the biggest fight of the year, especially when you consider how slow this year has been. Now, with that being said, if Lamont Roach meets the requirements and the qualifications to fight against Gervonta Tank Davis, then clearly Kesan Davis does. Let's not forget, Kesan Davis versus Gustavo Lemus was a title eliminator. And his next fight is most likely going to be for a title against Denis Berinchyk, another tough, skillful Ukrainian fighter. We just recently seen Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis in the ring with tough Ukrainian fighters. And I truly believe Berinchyk is going to be a much tougher challenge than Lemos was. But with Kesan Davis, you just really never know, because it seems like he really steps his game up as he steps up in competition. Now, and I just want to say this when it comes to Kesan Davis. When you have fighters like Canelo Alvarez, for years, he's been going out of his way looking for the weakest opposition. And by way of contrast, you have Kesan Davis going out of his way to fight the best guy, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world in his weight class. If there is anyone out there trying to discredit Kesan for wanting to fight the best, then you're not truly a boxing fan. Because if you have no problem with Lamont Roach wanting to fight against Gervonta, how can you have a problem with Kesan wanting to fight Gervonta? And what I mean by that is no one is saying that Lamont Roach, he should be fighting this guy or he should be fighting that guy instead of Gervonta. At the end of the day, everyone is supposed to want to fight the best, and the fans are supposed to want to see the best fight the best all the time, because this is how other sports are. Now, I've already told you guys, and I'll keep telling you guys, it does make more sense for us to get Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson first, because that's one of the fights that has been in the making for years. But body language and the way you say things, it means a lot. And it seems to me that Kesan Davis, he genuinely wants this fight more than Shakur Stevenson does. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about that. We'll see what happens if Shakur gets the Williams-Zepeda fight in February and if he goes straight into negotiations with Gervonta. That seems to make the most sense. But once again, if Shakur and Gervonta don't agree to fight against each other, there's no other fight that makes more sense than Gervonta Tank Davis against Kesan Davis. Just to give you guys an idea of who Kesan is trying to fight, listen to what Robert Garcia said about Gervonta.
What do you think about Gervonta's performance against Frank Martin?
I think it was great, man. He's an unbelievable guy, man. I think Tank at this point he's unbeatable at the lightweight division against any of the world champions. I think he's the top guy right now at that division. He had a great performance. You know, he has his timing, his power, accuracy, everything's great, man. He's a perfect fighter right now.
Did you guys hear that? Robert Garcia said that Gervonta is the perfect fighter and unbeatable at 135. And this is the guy that Kesan Davis wants to fight. Because Williams-Zepeda, for example, He is Gervonta's #1 contender. William Zepeda could have easily got a Gervonta Tank Davis fight, but he didn't want to fight Gervonta because we know Gervonta, he loves to fight Mexicans. Hell, he would have took a pay cut to get that undefeated, aggressive power puncher that comes forward when it comes to William Zepeda. And speaking of Mexican fighters, when Robert Garcia talked about how unbeatable and perfect Gervonta Tank Davis was and how he could not be beat at 135, Robert Garcia has a fighter at 135, which is Robert Marataya. So that says a lot about what he thinks about Gervonta, meaning he doesn't even feel his own fighter can beat Gervonta. But there is somebody else at 135 that truly believes he can beat Gervonta, and we know who that is.
Now, when it come to fighting this person, when it come to fighting that person, the only person that I'm calling out that I want to fight is Gervonta, man. Other than that, don't ask me to fight nobody, bro. I keep proving y'all wrong and wrong and wrong. And before I prove it to y'all, I say it first. Because I know what I'm about to do and what I'm about to become. Since the beginning, since I turned pro, I was talking junk to the undisputed champions of the world. I was saying things that actually transpired into the truth, bro. I'm the truth, bro. And y'all, it's so hard for y'all to realize that. It's because I'm so great that y'all not gonna love it until it's gone. But I'm trying to tell y'all, love me while I'm here. I need y'all to love me while I'm here. Because when I'm going, y'all ain't gonna never get this type flavor. Y'all ain't gonna never get this type of vibe from my lives, bro. 600 people, it just keep going up. From my live views, from my press conferences, from my weigh-ins, to my fight, and even post-press. I'm entertainment, bro.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.